and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I hope you're all doing well and having a wonderful time. And if you are in the East Coast, I hope that you're safe, because I've been seeing lots on the news about Dorian, or the hurricane that's coming your way. I think is over the Bahamas, and if you're in the Bahamas, you probably can't hear me because the electric's down and things like that. But I just pray that everybody is safe and that are well. So anyway, I thought I would just talk a little bit about myself, what I've been up to of late. It's almost been a year. I have been doing what's known as I've been doing a YouTube channel, which is just with my name, Gail Moffat. And in this YouTube channel, I have been connecting to people from the Bible era and saints as well, and some phenomenal people that have come through, and so if any of you are interested in these messages, do go to my YouTube channel. And I was just thinking about last week's message that I got. Now, Mother Teresa came through, and she, as you know, she was very charitable. She set up the charity, which has gone worldwide, and a phenomenal person. And I've got some of her books as well, and I love reading her quotes and things like that. I just think she's just adorable. But anyway, one of the things that she was saying last week, which I thought was really interesting, is that she feels that in order to have to do any sort of form of charity, in order to do that, you have to have love in your heart. And that got me thinking. I thought, well, that's really quite a profound statement, the more I thought about it. Because I was thinking, well, if you haven't got love in your heart, then you're going to be really sort of, working from your mind, and you're really going to be, it's going to be more about, what's in it for you. But to have love in your heart, it means that you have compassion, and you feel sort of sorry for somebody in a difficult situation, or and I think that it's I just find it sort of quite interesting, sort of that statement. In order to do charity, you have to have love in your heart. Quite profound, isn't it? The more you think about it, it's great. Now, I know that we're going to have a couple of callers, and I believe we have Shannon in Stockbridge, Georgia. Are you there, Shannon?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Hello, and how are you this evening? Oh, it's this afternoon for you, actually, isn't it? It's evening. I'm in Oxford in England, so it's evening here. But how are you? And is everything...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You're okay. Now, I am a medium, and I can either connect to a loved one in the spirit world, or I can look at, speak to my guides and get guidance for you in your life. Is there a particular area where you'd like me to focus on?
I have a lot going on. My daughter, I just spoke with the doctor yesterday about my 31-year-old daughter. They think she has days left. I mean, she's in real bad shape. Can you connect with my husband's past? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know where to begin.
So hold on a minute. Your husband has passed, and then and then you've got a granddaughter that has got days to live. Is that correct?
No, our daughter. It's mine and his oldest daughter. She has cancer, and they told me yesterday that she would, she's probably got just days. She's in real bad shape.
Okay, let me have a look at this. Just going to see who's going to come forward first. I'm just hearing a man's voice, and he's saying, "She's my daughter." So I know that I have your husband with me, and he says that now he says that I'm going to be there for her. I'm not going to let you down. And he says, and he keeps on saying,
And I know that.
And he says, I'm going to be the first one there to help her. She's not going to get into any difficulty getting across here. I'm going to be there, he says. And he's making me talk a little bit differently because from my accent. But he says that he's saying to me that he loves his daughter, and that she means everything to him, and he says that he says that he's really worried about you as well, because he says that he's saying to me that you've been struggling since he's passed, and I feel that he says that there's a loneliness with you, and he's asking me to send you healing, of which I will do. I will put you on my healing list. And he's saying to me that he's making me feel as though your daughter was almost like is a real sweet, kind soul, and it's like she's good to everybody, and tries to sort of, she's always thinking of other people and being kind. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And even in her illness, she's thinking of everybody else and not herself.
Yeah.
And she's just so incredible. But he's saying to me that he's being constantly by her side, and he's making this real big promise to you. He's not going to let her suffer, and he's not going to let her, get lost or anything. It's like when the time's right, he's going to whisk her off to the spirit world and get her across. And he's assuring you that she'll be safe. And he's saying to me, she's going to heaven. She's going to heaven. And he's sort of, he's saying to me that he's showing me, now I think this is a memory of going back a bit, and he's making me feel as though there was some paperwork that you were unsure as to what to deal with, whether to deal with it after he passed. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I feel that you, because he's making me feel that you still should, like there's still sort of, you still a possibility of dealing with this paperwork, and he's making me feel that it's important for your well-being. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's really urging you to do everything that you need to do to get this sorted, because he's saying it's like there you were and you hesitated and you stood back and didn't do anything, but he's urging you, please do it, because he says you need this. It's like it's important that you deal with this paperwork.
Okay.
And he's saying that he keeps on saying he wants you to be safe, he wants you to be secure, and he doesn't want you to suffer. And he's saying to me that he wishes that he wishes that he'd had more time with you, and he's sad that he didn't have enough time, because he's saying to me that almost like you were thinking of doing things in your life, or I feel like there was going to be some changes, and you never got the opportunity to do the things that you wanted to do, and
Yeah.
And he's showing me an old sofa, and he's telling me it's a bit tatty and needs replacing. Sorry, this is just being broadcast on air around the world that you've got a tatty sofa.
Yeah.
So I really am sorry, Shannon. I'm. Don't shoot the messenger is what I say. This is. He's saying that you've had this for far too long, and it needs to go. And he's got a great sense of humour, hasn't he? I really like him. He's really funny. I mean, gosh, firstly telling everyone about your sofa. I'll be telling him off after the call.
Did he say anything about our other children? We have 3 other ones, and there's a couple of them that I'm kind of worried about. Is he saying anything?
Right. We're getting a bit short of time, so tell me who you want to focus on.
Matthew, the baby.
Matthew, the baby. And
yes.
And how old is he?
He's 26.
So not quite a baby then.
No, he's our baby though. He's my baby.
It's your baby. They never stop being a baby, do they?
No,
so Matthew,
they don't.
He's saying to me that he loves all of his children and he loves them all equal. But he's saying to me that some of them were more problematic than others. Would you understand that? Like some of them were easier than others.
Yeah.
And I feel, and he's making me feel that Matthew wasn't, has always been a little bit more demanding in life. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And he's saying that it's like almost from a young age, he was always the one that both of you would worry about, and both of you would, spend a lot of time thinking about, what can we do with this boy? and,
yeah.
and I get the feeling that he's got quite a defiant sort of nature, and he's and he can be, and he's making me feel as though he sometimes sort of isn't always as respectful as some of the other children. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And he's making me feel that he has. It's almost like he sometimes chooses aspects of his life that he wouldn't want for him. Would you understand that?
Absolutely, yes.
And he's sort of like raising, and your husband is raising his eyebrow, and he's sort of making me sort of like, I'm really, it's like he's disappointed. And if the main thing that he's disappointed about is that he feels that Matthew doesn't treat you properly. He doesn't treat you with respect. And it's because of his lifestyle that he's chosen. He doesn't approve of his lifestyle.
No, not at all.
And he's and he says that you sort of worry, and always saying to me that you pray to sort of try and make sure that he's all right, because you worry about him on a daily basis. Which that makes sense to you?
Yes, ma'am. I worry about all of them, but yes, that is the case.
But he's more of a problem. But your husband is saying to me that he regularly tries to come around and protect him, but he's also saying to me that I feel like he's had a few close misses as well. But I get the feeling that there's a lot of protection from his dad in the spirit world. Like, I feel like he's quite active in protecting your children.
Oh, good. Okay.
your husband, I think, is adorable. He's very sweet and very caring, very much a family man. You can just feel that about him.
Yes, he is. Very much so.
But I have another caller waiting.
Okay.
So, but I hope that's helped. And if you need to contact me further, find me on Facebook. My name is Gail Moffat. Okay, thank you very much, Shannon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Right now I have Jennifer in Schumacher, Ontario, Canada. Are you there, Jennifer? So whilst we're waiting for Jennifer to come back, I'll get back to, it's interesting, when somebody is about to pass, how this is something that I find very interesting, is that our relatives in the spirit world start to gather around and start to be there for us and be ready and waiting for us for when we go across, and help us to go across and help us to sort of adjust and to our new life in the spirit world. And that, I think that's quite amazing how the sort of infrastructure of the spirit world is there for us at that challenging time called death. And death is not the end. It's the passing over. So death is just the passing over. And the other thing that I was talking about earlier with Mother Teresa has been quite an inspiration to me, because as I say, I love her quotes, and I love her favorite one is sort of forgive them anyway, where she's whatever somebody does, whether it's jealousy or hatred or trying to compete with you and she's just like, she's always saying forgive them and do it anyway. Don't be manipulated by people. Keep on walking forward in your life. Keep on always being true to your soul and true to your heart. And that was what Mother Teresa was all about. She was true to her heart. She'd always walk forward, always have the purpose, which was her soul purpose. And that soul purpose was to be charitable to many people. But apparently we have another caller, and that's Troyce in Eden, North Carolina. Are you there, Troyce?
I'm here.
Hello, and welcome to the show. So I am a medium, and I can connect to loved ones in the spirit world, or I can look at aspects of your life and give you guidance. Is there a particular way you'd like me to work?
Yes, ma'am. My brother.
And your brother is in the spirit world, is he?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's have a look. Okay, I feel like I've got somebody here, and I'm being told that he went very quickly. I feel that it was just sort of almost like 1, 2, 3, and he was gone. I don't feel like there was a lot. He's telling me that there wasn't any suffering or anything like that. It was like a jolt, and he was gone into the spirit world. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
I feel that he was quite an intelligent young man, and I feel that he could have done a lot of things in his life, but I feel that his passing curtailed him and sort of stopped him in his tracks, because I just feel that there would have been so many opportunities for him if he'd have lived. Does that make sense to you?
Could you repeat that last part you just said? I got lost a little.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I just feel that he was there was a lot of opportunities for him in the spirit world. Not in the spirit world. That he could have had in this in this world, but because of his passing, it wasn't available to him. Because I feel that he's making me feel that he's he's quite a bright young man. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And I feel that he did well at school as well. Would you understand that?
Yes.
He's clever. He's not stupid. And I just get and he's telling me that it was an accident. He keeps on saying it's an accident. It's an accident. Would you understand that?
It was an accident.
Because I feel like this wasn't sort of this wasn't something that he planned or wanted. It was an accident. And he says it's almost like it was an accident, but everything was out of his control. Like he had no control over it. And he's making me feel as though was he is this a car accident, a motor vehicle accident?
Yes, it was. He was on his motorcycle in a car.
Right.
I was involved.
Right. Because I just get that feeling that I'm on the road and it's a vehicle, and I just get the feeling that he was on his way home. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
And I get the feeling
he was right near our home.
Yeah, he's telling me that he was telling me he was on his way home, and he's also saying to me that almost like the conditions on the road wasn't very good. Would you understand that?
Well, I'm not sure about that night how the conditions were, but it was pretty dry. Might have been just something that's on the road or something that caused it, or speed. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was a pretty day that day.
Was it? Oh. But he keeps on wanting to reassure you that his passing was instant. And I feel that and also there must be an anniversary around about now, and I don't know whether it's his passing or his birthday or somebody else, linked to him or you. But I get the feeling of an anniversary round about that now. Would you understand that?
Well, my sister just had a birthday on January. Well, I'm sorry, August 31st, and June 17th would have made it another month that my dad had passed away. So he passed away June 15th, which would have been Father's Day, June 16th. But my sister recently had a birthday.
Yeah. Well, I just get the feeling that there was a birthday or an anniversary or something just round about now. So August the 31st, I think that's just 3 days ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's just letting me know that he knows about it, and he's got a great smile. Like he's got a lovely sort of smile, lovely teeth as well. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And I feel also that he was somebody that had lots of friends and knew lots of people. He was incredibly sociable.
Love him.
Incredibly sociable as a person.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and I also feel that he's making me feel as though there was something special that was done at the funeral on his behalf. And I feel that this is to do with people that he would have known did something special. Would you understand that?
Yes, a few of his friends rode their motorcycles, and we all had on white with his pictures, and all his friends were his pallbearers, so they had his pictures all on his on their shirts. And we basically wore the same color that he wore in his casket.
Yes. but I just knew it wasn't sort of a conventional sort of, funeral where you go in and have a service. And, but I just knew that there was something sort of quite unique about it. And he loved it, absolutely loved it. He thinks it was just sort of amazing. And he's also saying to me that before I finish, because we've only got a short space of time left now, but he's saying to me that when he was alive, he always felt protective and wanted to sort of, I feel like he's protective of you. And he's making me feel that now that he's in the spirit world, that hasn't stopped. I just get that feeling that he's telling me that he's going to be with you for the rest of your life, looking after you and being there for you. And I don't feel that, I think you've got that gift of him in your life forever, which is lovely.
Yeah, we all protect him. He's the oldest, but we're all protective, especially me. I'm overprotective over him.
Yeah, but he's making me feel like he wants to protect you.